There are moments in the entertainment world when a simple appearance becomes something much bigger than a red carpet entrance, a live stream, or a promotional event. A single image can suddenly change the atmosphere online. A quiet expression can become the center of thousands of conversations, and the way a star carries themselves can create an entirely new chapter in how the public sees them. That is exactly the kind of atmosphere surrounding Tian Xiwei as discussions about her increasingly mature image begin intersecting with the enormous attention surrounding Zhang, Linghe and Zhan. What makes this moment so fascinating is not simply the names involved, but the feeling that something has shifted. Tian Xiwei has always possessed a distinctive screen presence, one capable of moving effortlessly between youthful charm, playful energy, emotional vulnerability, and striking elegance. Yet the conversation surrounding her now feels different. There is a growing sense that audiences are witnessing an actress entering a more confident phase of her career, a phase where her presence no longer depends entirely on sweetness or youthful appeal. Her expressions seem more controlled, her public appearances more assured, and her overall image carries a quiet maturity that invites people to look again. And whenever a star reaches that kind of turning point, the entertainment world responds. Searches rise, discussions multiply, fan edits spread, and names connected through dramas, events, or public attention can suddenly begin trending together. That is where Zhang, Linghe and Zhan enter this fascinating picture, because both names represent enormous levels of public interest, and their appearance within the same trending conversation creates an atmosphere filled with curiosity, speculation, and excitement. The most interesting part of Tian Xiwei's changing image is that maturity does not necessarily mean becoming distant or losing the qualities that made people love her in the first place. Instead, it can mean learning how to control those qualities. The brightness remains, but there is more confidence behind it. The softness remains, but it feels less dependent on innocence. The smile remains recognizable, yet the person behind that smile appears increasingly aware of the space she occupies. That subtle difference can be incredibly powerful. In the entertainment industry, where performers are constantly photographed, analyzed, compared, and discussed, growing into a more mature public image is not simply a matter of changing clothes or adopting a different hairstyle. It is about developing an identity that feels stronger than any single role. Tian Xiwei's journey has increasingly invited that kind of interpretation. Viewers who once focused primarily on her youthful charisma may now be noticing something deeper. Composure, self-assurance, emotional control, and the ability to command attention without appearing to chase it. That transformation can make a performer feel newly fascinating even to people who have followed them for years. It creates the sensation that there is more to discover. And when that feeling arrives at the same time that major names such as Zhang, Linghe and Zhan are dominating online conversations, the result can become almost impossible for entertainment fans to ignore. Zhang Linghe's name carries its own enormous emotional weight among drama viewers. His rise has been shaped by performances that have allowed audiences to see different sides of his presence, from restrained intensity to romantic vulnerability and from elegant composure to emotionally charged dramatic moments. Because of that, even a relatively simple appearance can attract extraordinary attention. His popularity means that whenever his name begins trending, fans immediately start searching for context. What happened? Where was he seen? Who was nearby? What moment caused the discussion? What expression did people notice? And sometimes, the answer is not a dramatic announcement at all. Sometimes it is simply the chemistry of timing, the visual impact of an event, or the fact that several major entertainment names are capturing attention at the same moment. This is why the connection between Tian Xiwei and Zhang Linghe can feel so magnetic to viewers even when there is no confirmed personal development behind the discussion. Their professional association and shared popularity create a natural source of public curiosity, especially among fans who remember the emotional atmosphere created by their work together. A familiar pairing can remain powerful long after a project ends because audiences do not simply remember scenes, they remember feelings. They remember expressions, glances, awkward laughter, dramatic tension, and the atmosphere surrounding a particular era of a drama. Those memories can return instantly when the actors appear in the same conversation again. And then there is Zhan, whose presence adds another layer to the story. Zhan has built a reputation for commanding attention on a scale that extends far beyond any single production. His name carries immense recognition, and his ability to generate discussion means that even unrelated trends can become connected through the broader ecosystem of Chinese entertainment. When Tian Xiwei, Zhang and Xiao appear within overlapping trending conversations, fans naturally begin searching for the reason behind the unusual combination. It does not necessarily mean there is a secret connection between them. In many cases, trending algorithms simply bring together the biggest discussions happening at the same time. But that is precisely what makes these moments so fascinating. Online fandom is driven not only by confirmed information but also by curiosity. A name appears beside another name, an image gets reposted, a short clip gains momentum, and suddenly people begin examining every detail. The excitement grows because nobody wants to feel that they missed the moment when something important happened. Yet beneath all that noise is a more meaningful development. Tian Xiwei's own star power has become strong enough for her image to stand naturally within conversations involving some of the most recognizable names in the industry. The phrase rising moon itself creates an almost poetic atmosphere around this moment. A rising moon does not suddenly flood the sky with daylight. It appears gradually, quietly, almost mysteriously, becoming brighter as the night continues. That metaphor fits the evolution of a performer whose career seems to be moving toward a more refined stage. Tian Xiwei's growing maturity can be understood in much the same way. It is not necessarily one dramatic transformation that happened overnight. It is a collection of small changes that gradually become impossible to overlook. The way she carries herself, the confidence in her expressions, the increasing variety of roles associated with her, the way fans discuss her not merely as a charming young actress but as someone whose career trajectory deserves serious attention. These changes accumulate until one day the audience looks at her and realizes that the image they remember from earlier years is no longer the entire story. There is a new dimension there, and that dimension can be incredibly compelling. What makes maturity particularly fascinating in the world of entertainment is that it can completely change how an audience interprets the same person. A playful expression that once looked purely cute can suddenly appear confident. A quiet moment that once seemed shy can now feel thoughtful. A simple gesture can seem more intentional because the performer has developed greater command over their public presence. This does not mean every gesture contains a hidden message, and it certainly does not mean every interaction should be interpreted as evidence of a private relationship. In fact, the most responsible way to appreciate these moments is to separate what is visible from what is imagined. Tian Xiwei's evolving image can be celebrated without turning every interaction into a rumor. Zhang Linghe's popularity can be appreciated without assuming anything about his private life. Xiao's enormous influence can be acknowledged without forcing connections where none have been confirmed. The fascination comes from the public image, the professional journeys, and the way audiences respond to them. That distinction matters because the entertainment industry thrives on mystery, but the people at the center of that mystery are real individuals whose personal lives cannot be known simply from a photograph or trending topic. Still, it is impossible to deny the emotional power of public perception. Fans often experience an actor's career almost like a journey alongside their own lives. They discover a performer through one drama, follow another project, watch interviews, celebrate achievements, and gradually develop a sense of familiarity. Over time, they begin recognizing subtle changes that may not be obvious to casual viewers. That is why the conversation around Tian Xiwei's mature image feels meaningful to so many people. It represents growth. It represents the transition from being recognized for potential to being recognized for presence. There is something deeply satisfying about watching an actress move into a stage where she appears more comfortable with herself and less concerned with fitting into a single image. The entertainment world often tries to place performers into convenient categories: cute, elegant, powerful, youthful, mysterious, romantic, comedic. But the most memorable stars eventually become too complex to fit neatly inside one description. Tian Xiwei's appeal may increasingly come from that complexity. The attention surrounding Zhang adds another emotional dimension because audiences have already witnessed how strongly viewers can respond to his screen presence. His popularity is not simply based on appearance. It is connected to the emotional characters he has portrayed and the ability to create moments that viewers remember. When fans see his name appear alongside Tian Xiwei's, memories of shared screen chemistry can return almost instantly. Even a small reference can reopen an entire emotional world for viewers who became attached to their performances. That is the fascinating power of entertainment memory. A drama may end, but the emotional connection created during its run does not necessarily disappear. It can remain dormant until a new photo, event, interview, or trending topic brings it back to life. Suddenly, fans are revisiting old clips, discussing favorite scenes, comparing appearances, and wondering what might happen if these actors were brought together again professionally. The imagination becomes part of the fandom experience, even when reality remains much simpler. Zhan represents a different but equally powerful form of fascination. His career has demonstrated how a performer can become a cultural phenomenon whose name carries weight far beyond individual projects. When his name trends, it often becomes an event in itself. Fans pay attention not only because of what he is doing but because of what his presence means within the broader entertainment landscape. His appearance in a conversation involving Tian Xiwei therefore creates an interesting contrast. On one side is an actress increasingly associated with a mature and evolving image. On another is an established superstar whose influence is already enormous. Between these kinds of careers, viewers begin thinking about the changing landscape of Chinese drama and the performers who may define its next era. The question becomes less about a single moment and more about what these trends reveal about audience attention. Who is rising? Who is evolving? Who is becoming more versatile? Who can maintain relevance as public tastes change? That is perhaps the most powerful question surrounding Tian Xiwei right now. A mature image is not valuable simply because it looks different. It matters because it can signal artistic development. As an actress becomes more confident, she may gain access to more complex characters, more demanding emotional material, and a wider range of storytelling opportunities. The audience begins to expect more. Instead of asking only whether she looks charming in a promotional image, viewers start asking what kind of character she could portray next. Could she carry a darker role? Could she lead a sophisticated contemporary romance? Could she handle a complex historical character? Could she surprise audiences with something completely unexpected? Those questions are signs of growth because they move the conversation away from appearance and toward ability. And yet appearance will always remain part of the conversation in an image-driven industry. A single event photograph can influence public perception within minutes. Lighting, styling, posture, expression, and even the atmosphere of the surrounding event can change how people perceive a performer. This is why the idea of Tian Xiwei's mature image has gained such emotional momentum. People are not simply looking at a photograph. They are comparing it with everything they remember. They are seeing the difference between an earlier version of her public image and the confidence she projects now. That comparison creates a powerful emotional reaction because it makes time visible. Suddenly, years of career development can seem to exist inside one frame. There is also something fascinating about the way online fandom transforms small moments into shared experiences. Someone notices a photograph. Another person reposts it. Someone else adds a comment about how different Tian Xiwei looks. Another fan brings up Zhang. Someone mentions Xiao. Suddenly, a conversation that began with one image has expanded into a much larger discussion about actors, dramas, trends, chemistry, career growth, and future possibilities. This is how modern entertainment culture works. Information moves at astonishing speed, but emotion moves even faster. A picture can travel across platforms before the original context has even been fully understood. The emotional interpretation often arrives before the factual explanation. That is why fans should always remember that trending does not automatically mean confirmed. Popularity does not equal proof. A shared trend can be exciting without becoming evidence of something happening privately. Perhaps that balance is what makes this particular moment so intriguing. There is enough genuine material to celebrate without needing to invent anything. Tian Xiwei's evolving image is already interesting on its own. Zhang Linghe's continuing popularity is already powerful on its own. Xiaozhan's ability to dominate entertainment conversations is already extraordinary on its own. Put those three names within the same trending atmosphere, and the result naturally becomes a subject of fascination. But the deeper story is about movement. Careers are not static. Public images change. Audiences change. Performers mature. New opportunities emerge. Old associations return in unexpected ways. And sometimes, a single trending moment becomes a reminder that the entertainment landscape is constantly shifting beneath our feet. There is a particular emotional beauty in watching a performer become more comfortable with uncertainty. Early in a career, there can be an understandable desire to be liked, understood, and accepted. Later, Confidence can come from realizing that not everyone needs to interpret you in the same way. A mature performer can allow different sides of their personality and artistry to coexist. Tian Xiwei's growing image seems to invite that kind of interpretation. She can remain playful without being defined by youthfulness. She can appear elegant without losing warmth. She can be emotionally expressive without having every expression turned into a mystery. That balance is difficult, and when an actor achieves it, audiences often sense something has changed even before they can explain exactly what it is. For Zhang, the ongoing attention reflects a similar phenomenon from a different angle. As his career develops, viewers are no longer simply discovering him. They are watching his trajectory. They are interested in which roles will shape his next stage, which performances will challenge him, and how his public image will continue to evolve. This makes any renewed discussion involving Tian Xiwei especially interesting because their names carry memories for many viewers. It reminds fans of earlier moments while simultaneously raising curiosity about future possibilities. Could their professional paths cross again? Could another project bring a different dynamic? Could time change the way audiences interpret them? None of these questions has to be answered immediately. Sometimes the uncertainty itself is what keeps the conversation alive. And with Zhan in the wider trending picture, the atmosphere becomes even more expansive. His presence reminds viewers just how competitive and dynamic the industry has become. There are established superstars with immense influence, rising performers building their identities, and actors like Tian Xiwei who are moving through that space while developing increasingly distinctive careers. Trends can therefore be seen as snapshots of a much larger transformation. They show where attention is flowing at a particular moment. They reveal which names continue to generate emotional reactions and which performers are becoming impossible to overlook. The phrase mature image can sometimes sound superficial, but in this context it represents something much deeper. It is about perception. It is about the distance between who an actor was when audiences first discovered them and who they are becoming now. It is about the confidence that comes from experience. It is about understanding cameras without allowing cameras to define you. It is about walking into a room and no longer needing to prove that you belong there. That kind of maturity cannot be created by styling alone. It develops slowly through years of work, pressure, mistakes, achievements, expectations, and moments when a performer has to stand alone beneath the spotlight. Maybe that is why the image of a rising moon is such a fitting metaphor. The moon does not announce its arrival. It simply rises. Slowly, quietly, inevitably, it becomes more visible. Tian Xiwei's career can be viewed through that same lens. Each role, each appearance, each public moment contributes another layer. Some moments may pass unnoticed. Others suddenly capture enormous attention. But together they form a trajectory. And when audiences look back, they may realize that the transformation was happening all along. The trending attention involving Zhang and Zhan adds sparks to that atmosphere, but the heart of the story remains Tian Xiwei's evolution. It is the story of a performer entering a phase where curiosity about her future may become as powerful as admiration for her past. It is the moment when viewers stop asking only what made her popular and start wondering how far she can go. That shift is significant because longevity in entertainment is rarely created by repeating one successful image forever. It comes from evolution. It comes from knowing when to change and when to preserve the qualities that made people care in the first place. As the online conversation continues, fans will inevitably debate what the latest trend means. Some will focus on Tian Xiwei's appearance. Others will discuss Zhang. Others will be drawn to Zhan's immense popularity. Some will revisit old dramas and performances, while others will look toward future projects and possibilities. There will be excitement, speculation,